Right. So there's actually like two key sources of revenue. So the first is actually through different teenagers and different actual schools and public schools that adopt our financial literacy curriculum. We're a complete nonprofit organization, but we do have a donation page. And so that's really how we get a lot of funding for our different projects, including different things like stock market games that we hold with like a large audience. So that's why we get funding for that. But then additionally, I also have received a fiscal sponsorship from an organization called Hack Plus. And through that, they have granted us different resources like Google for Nonprofits and our own domain name, which is how our board of directors actually work to create this website and to host all these different events.
Hmm. All right. Matt, were you going to say something?
Yeah, tell us more. So, where are you based?
I'm from South Florida, but right now I'm actually in Kentucky for a debate tournament.
Oh, nice. So, tell us about your board of directors. How did that come to pass?
Right. So that board of directors was actually created, I would say, about a year ago. And what I've tried to create is a lot of people that were interested, not just at a local level, but more of at a state and international level. We have an international board along with a United States-based board. And so what both of the boards work to do in tandem is to work with all the different financial writers that actually want to write for the publication. So that's one key aspect. The other aspect is focused on outreach for interview publication. So those people are always doing like the cold emailing and the cold reaching out for potential candidates and potential leaders that want to share their story about financial success because we think that's really important just as a platform to hold. And the third thing is social media outreach. So we also have a team that works on different social media apps like Instagram. We have about like 200 to 300 followers on that. And cumulatively, we've received about 15 to 20,000 views on our page
Nice. Over what period of time, those views?
annually.
Okay, got it.
And what's your annual donation? What funding amounts are you seeing come in?
Right. So the specific income in terms of donations that we've received is more like 200 through $300, but those are just like just specific donations that we get. I don't think there's like a specific monetary value for the fiscal sponsorship we get to like hold the different events, but the way I got that fiscal sponsorship through Hack Plus was through a series of like interviews in which they finally picked like a few corporations to grant that 501 status, and they do all the IRS taxing legality aspects for us.
Oh, really? That's super helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. But like I would still say like the main impact that I'm trying to focus more on is like the educational aspect versus like the monetary value.
Yeah. And so, are
got it.
you judging yourself by number of kids you teach?
Yeah, so like it's like two different ways, right? So the first is through the number of kids that we directly teach through like our Zoom calls, our Discord sessions where we actually like teach these kids about finance and also through, like the partnerships we've created. So I've partnered with Bumper Investing. It's actually this investing platform. It's one of the first investing platforms that's specifically designed for teens. And I was able to partner with Harrison Martindale. And specifically with him, what we've tried to do is we've tried to adopt teens to join the Bumper Investing investment platform. And we've been sharing resources across Bumper Investing and Bumper Bytes, which they've created. And all those resources are resources that we actually try to provide. In terms of that specific number of like lectures that we've held and the people that we've helped is about like, again, like 200 to 300 kids. And then outside of online, like actually like in person, like through various like summer programs. So like I also like partnered with Learn with Peers. That's another 501 organization that one of my friends started. And we specifically like provide like those like one-on-one sessions and like finance crash course workshops. So I would say that I guess that's like another like maybe like 50 kids. And then outside of that, just all the people that actually write for us. We have about like 10 to 15 different writers that have uniquely written for us. And in terms of like interviews, we've held people from various distinguished organizations from Harvard University, Fidelity Investments, VLK Capital Management, etc.
Super impressive.
I, yeah, I, very impressive. I love young people who are trying to tackle big problems, and I
Yeah.
can think of very few that are quite this so large. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I just
And
have
so
one quick
focused.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's specifically directed to Mr. Bowman. So I know you started like My Tech High, and I just had a quick question about that. So like you were able to impact like so many different amount of kids, like and so for I had a question for you. How would you say you could scale an impact for an organization a little bit more? Because I feel like the name of the game, I guess, is impact. So I guess outside of
Right.
partnerships, how could I potentially do that?
Uh, my one advice there is be irresistible to people who like to share that are passionate about you. So keep listening for the most passionate people that are attracted to you and invite them to tell their friends and family.
Wow, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Just be irresistible to whoever you're serving. So they just have to share it with someone else.
Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think
So
like working with a lot of teens and who are really interested about that kind of stuff, is definitely like the way to go for that. So
yeah, just figure out what it is that makes it just, oh man, that was just super cool and super helpful. I need to tell someone about it.
awesome. Okay, that's super interesting. Well, thank you so much, guys. And thank you for holding this opportunity. Hopefully I hear back from you guys soon.
All right, we'll see you. Thank you. All right, Jake, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hey there. Thank you guys for taking the time. Hello.
Yeah, no,
Like
we're
your
happy to
logo,
have
Jake.
you.
Thank you.
So let's just jump in. Jake, tell us about yourself and your business.
Yeah, so I'm Jake. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm a junior at Carey Academy, and I've been playing Roblox my entire life. And a few years ago, I applied to their UGC program. It's their user generated content program, which allows users to create, upload, and sell digital fashion accessories on their marketplace. So that's things like jackets, hats, everything, kind of under that umbrella of digital fashion. And I quickly grew my store to one of the top stores on Roblox, employing various 3D artists and contractors kind of from around the world. And yeah, we have, I think, 5 million sales and over 1,400 items now. So it just keeps scaling. It's a lot of fun.
That's so awesome, Jake. Like,
Yeah.
have you stepped back and say, are you kidding me? Did I really do that?
Yeah, every day. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and now shift to what have you learned from that journey? That's what we really like to focus on.
Yeah, I'd say probably the most important thing that I've learned is just to keep going because I uploaded probably 1,400 items at this point, and about 1,388 of them have failed. So I failed
Good.
at that, and almost all those items have failed, and it's just taken a few for me to actually realize some success, and that's been enough to keep going. And so that's probably been one of the most important lessons. Obviously, there's leadership in there, and there's a bunch of other kind of lessons sprinkled in there, leading different people, all that kind of stuff. But that's probably the most important thing. That's been really potent in the past few years for me.
Oh, I bet. So what you're telling me is that 12 of your uploads did 5 million?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, really, most of the uploads that I have created and put on the platform don't do much volume at all.
Right.
Some of them in aggregate, as the years go by, they kind of total to some size of a portion, but it's really nothing to write home about. It's a few that really drive most of my volume that players wear, millions of players wear from around the world.
So cool. So why does Matt Barnes say you want a high failure rate? Why in the world is that good advice?
I
Why
think
do you think?
I think I might be an example of that, but I think you just want a high failure rate because eventually, once you kind of get above the curve, that's where the treasure is. I think you just have to kind of fail enough to get
Oh,
across the
that's a
ocean,
great
maybe.
line, Matt. That after you
Yeah,
get past that curve, the treasure exists.
yeah,
It's almost
yeah,
like
exactly.
that's the principle in gaming too, right? So,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that applies to business, doesn't it? So that's super
That's
cool.
life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So when you say you have 5 million in sales, that's $5 million, 5 million sale items. What does that mean?
Yeah, so that's 5 million. That's in relation to the volume and the units sold on the Roblox platform.
Gotcha.
So Roblox has their own currency, and each sale that a user makes with their own currency on the Roblox platform is then kind of added to a group account of mine, and then I can exchange that for US dollars.
And how does that, what's the ratio or relationship there between 5 million in online sales in terms of dollars?
So in terms of total revenue, before Roblox takes their cut, it's about 1.25 million. After they take my cut, I've taken home just under about 500,000.
Wow,
Yeah,
fantastic. Wow,
Congratulations, Jake. Super
thank
impressive.
you.
super
Yeah.
impressive. Where do you go from here, and what are you learning about how you continue to move and grow in this space?
One of the things that I've been learning over the past few weeks is that there's digital fashion can take on so many different avenues. I've been talking to a bunch of different brands recently, and I can't say what the brand is, but I'll just say it's the most famous museum in the world, and it's in Paris. So I'll just say that I've been working with that entity on some some different accessories and different merchandise. I've talked to a bunch of different colleges, Carnegie Mellon and USC, different colleges in the United States about creating college merchandise and putting it on the Roblox platform. I think there's a really big kind of gap in the market there, just from what I've seen on a day-to-day basis. People like to mirror and kind of reflect how they present themselves in the real world to the digital world as well. So kind of want to create that, and so we have some licensing conversations going as well right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
being driven by identity, right? That they want to
yeah,
showcase their identity, and I can see college or pro teams or various uniform-based fan base
Yeah.
opportunities there. That's super interesting,
right.
Jake.
And right, in especially with NIL kind of coming into place now, a bunch of colleges are interested in having kind of player specific merchandise so that people can represent their favorite players. So it's yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing or plan to do with your 500K? What's on your Jake spend list?
I'm not too much of a spender. I don't really buy anything, to be honest.
No,
I
no
haven't.
Lambo for you?
No Lambo. I don't think so. I'm looking at the Prius, the 2024 Prius. That's more my kind. But no, I'm not. I don't really buy a whole lot. I'm probably just going to put it away or something. I don't entirely know at the moment. But maybe I'll get some glasses. I don't know.
Yeah, no, building up a nest egg at your age is invaluable, right?
Huge.
Yeah,
That'll pay off dividends for decades.
yeah, yeah.
I'm curious. Okay, so you've made some money. How is this journey? How's it affecting your thinking about your next, say, 5 years or so?
Yeah, I mean, as a junior in high school, it's definitely affecting kind of how I see the college process and what that looks like. Just because, kind of the traditional avenue is, what is what is your job going to be? What are you going to get a degree? What's the process look like for going from college to the workforce? But where I am now, I'm very happy with like the yearly salary that I'm kind of able to pull in at the moment is something that I'd be very happy with, just with any job, coming out of college. And so it just kind of naturally feels like kind of like a self-employment kind of situation. But I'm still planning to go to college to and then I'll be applying in the fall and applying to a few different colleges and hopefully studying either history or business. I can't decide what I like yet. I don't know. So yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so do you expect to continue putting effort into Roblox sales or other online kind of revenue opportunities, or is that something you'll kind of shelve?
I think I'm gonna keep scaling my digital fashion store as much as I can,
Yeah.
and then at that point, if there comes a point where it's not really a good opportunity anymore, I'm also a game developer, so I work with a partner of mine from London, and we create games on Roblox, and so we're currently doing some QA at the moment for a game of ours, and that's going really well. He's a really talented programmer, so that's also kind of a natural avenue. I've been doing that since before I actually did digital fashion creation. I've been developing games since like 2016, so it's been a long time I've been doing that. Um, And so that might be a natural progression as well. But also just brand integration into digital scenes and kind of the metaverse. There's a lot of brand attention to this area. So that's something that I would like to cater to as well.
Hmm. Interesting.
What do you hope that college is going to provide you in education that you like? What are you hoping college provides you?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Um, I think it depends what I study, right? If I'm studying, I think it could be a good opportunity for networking, depending on where I go. Um, I don't know. I guess really like history, so if I studied history, I think that could further my education there. But insofar as business is concerned, I'm not, you know, yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it. That's a really good question, though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So Jake, uh, I'm curious about your network. So, you've mentioned somebody from London. You mentioned that you work with app developers in other parts of the world. Um, how much connection do you have with other people who are operating in this? I don't even know what to call it, like virtual space. Like, are
Yeah.
you connecting with companies? Are you connecting with individuals? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so I I started a LinkedIn profile back in September, and I've since kind of racked up different connections in this space. A lot of my connections pertain to are people that are in game development on Roblox, staff at Roblox, but also licensing to that nature. It's a lot of licensing and kind of brand people at different companies like Walmart and things like that that are focused on brand activation within a digital kind of domain. Yeah.
Are you trying to grow your connections?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I just connected with you, so that's one.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
reach out to me too,
I'll make
Jake.
sure
That's
to accept
great.
that. Will do.
I wanted to hear what are your roadblocks? Not to play off the name of where you've made your splash, but what inhibits you from making 1,000 more designs that get to 10 million adoptions?
Yeah, so I'd say probably right now, my store is very much, I'm kind of the bottleneck of my store. I design and I create every single asset. And so one of the things that I'm struggling with, like right now, as I'm still thinking about this on a day-to-day basis, is how do I scale my store and kind of but keep the same quality that people kind of have known and kind of expected my store to have. And so I've had to search really far and wide to find certain 3D artists from around the world that I think really fit what I'm kind of looking for. It can kind of help me scale the store a little bit so I can boost production while not dropping in the quality that I've tried to deliver for the past few years now.
Hmm.
Fascinating.
Yep, because
Uh,
it's a really hands-on and creative process to create digital accessories, everything from finding the concept images, which is a whole job in itself, to then actually creating the asset in a 3D software, to then texturing the asset. There's a whole pipeline involved in creating the asset. It's just kind of hard to bring that to the next level at large scale, and everything's about the idea, right? You can have the best quality. Another thing I've learned is I spend a lot of time trying to create really high quality accessories, and a lot of them don't do well, right? It's the accessories that I spent 5 minutes on that have done the best, and I'm completely serious. I have
wow.
designed really intricate accessories with like masquerade masks with all kinds of intricate designs, and those are the ones that have performed literally the worst. Um, my best performing accessories are like fingerless gloves that took me maybe 15 minutes and fuzzy boots. So it's just like you just never know, It's just it's really yeah.
That back to that failure rate. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, if you think that this thing is easy, then do it once and it should work. If it's hard, then you got to do it 1,000 times.
Exactly.
So,
And even just the principle, Jake, that smart business leaders admit all the time that you just never know what's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly
Yeah.
like you have to embrace that in entrepreneurship is you have no idea what will work and what won't work. You just gotta try. You just gotta
Yeah.
be willing to iterate.
Exactly. It's a constant gamble. It's just kind of every item is you're just kind of like playing the roulette. Like, okay, I found the idea, I've created the asset. Let's put it out there and see what happens. So that's also kind of a hard part of it is um, you're also gambling on a long-term basis too. Sometimes, you kind of find out, you see the results of, the gamble not too long after. I can upload an accessory and it might do well 5 months from now. So
Right.
to have that long-term perspective is really difficult because it just doesn't, it doesn't, it's really hard to conceptualize, but it's important to have.
Well,
Right.
we'll let you go, Jake, but we're super impressed with what you've done and your self-awareness of what you're learning about entrepreneurship, about yourself, about the world, about partnerships and networks and relationships. Like you are on a great path of lifelong success, Jake. So I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I hope you continue to fail and to fail often.
Yep.
Weird, a
I do
weird,
too.
a weird thing to wish somebody, but it's true.
Right.
I appreciate it. I
And
really
I
appreciate
have
the
I
wish.
have to say, make sure college doesn't get in the way of your learning and growth.
We'll do. Yeah, that's
Okay.
something I have to keep in mind. Thank you so much
Good
for the
luck.
opportunity.
All
Take
right,
care.
thanks,
Good
Jake.
luck.
Take care.
But
Hey, Nolan, welcome back. Good to
Hey,
have you.
what's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Good. You're back in the program again this year. We're super happy to see you again, Nolan.
I
Pat yourself.
appreciate it. I'm glad to be back, man.
Tell us about what you've been working on lately and what you've been learning.
Yeah, so about a few months ago, we just got a shop in my town, my hometown here, in Bay Village, and I've really just started up about, this first week of April here, and we've been super busy. I mean, we've scheduled out, we're probably about almost 2 months in advance for scheduling right now, so we're getting super busy, and I have two full-time guys being, hired here and getting ready to start here in the
Full
next few
time.
weeks. And yeah, two full-time guys, and I'm looking to buy another truck right now as well. So we're definitely moving up there. So
How old are your full-time employees?
they're older than me. They're about 19, 20.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say, I bet they're older youth than you. So that's
yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. It's yeah, we just been super busy recently. Trying to decide if I should go ahead and keep doing the trucks with the trailers or if I should go with the box trucks. I'm kind of leaning towards the box trucks because I don't know if I trust those guys to go ahead and back in those trailers there. So we're still kind of debating about that. But yeah, we've been super busy recently and scaling pretty hard here. So I'm super happy about that, and we'll continue to do so. So
what's your revenue forecast for this summer?
so for this year, I'm gonna go ahead and at least do 250,000. So at least for this year, that's what I want to do. I want to do way more than that. It's just kind of a minimum set there, but that's what we're looking for.
And what do you think your profit margin is on that?
Our profit margin on that's about 50%.
Nice.
So
Bad. Not bad.
Good for you, Nolan. Super
I
impressive.
appreciate that.
So you've got so they're going to be working for you full time starting when?
So we actually have a training coming up here in about a few weeks. They're going to go ahead and start that first week of May.
Okay. So they're out of school and they've got the time.
Yep.
What does the training look like?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Over the winter time, since we couldn't power wash, I went ahead and built out all the procedures, automated everything, so I could just go ahead and get an employee, kind of drag and drop them inside of this training here. So what we'll go ahead and do is we take a weekend, and the first day is kind of like an orientation. And so we all come to the shop for that first day for orientation. They get all their uniforms. We go through all the procedures, so morning inspections, how to fill up, for example, chemical tanks. How to manage with our CRM, that program there, they get tablets and everything like that. We go through all that. And the second day there, we'll go ahead and go to a practice site, go ahead and practice everything. I'll show the guys how to use, all the equipment. Each machine will spend about an hour or so on and really get nailed down with that so I can trust them. And the first few weeks there will be a operations manager supervising them, until they get good enough and one gets promoted to a head technician. So it's a two-man crew, a head technician and a normal technician. And so that's how they get to that point.
Very cool. How do you assure quality?
Yeah, it's a great question. So really our interviewing process is really strict. I'm really not looking for guys who are just, I used to be looking for part-timers, honestly, and guys, who were more about the money side. And the guys who I have right now are amazing. They want to actually develop their skills more as opposed to the money. I mean, everybody obviously still wants money. It's a big part of it, but they want to be developing their skills more. And so I'm putting them through a few classes, actually. I'm about communication with the client. I'm going to go ahead and, through the orientation and training, they learn the bulk of their skills there as well. And so it's not just, come here, work for the summer. It's come here, build a career and learn some skills as well.
What kind of skills will they be
Good
learning?
question. Yeah. So first off, communication skills, how to use all of our tools and equipment, because it's, super useful, not just, for the company, but, as progressing with life. Social skills, communicating with clients and knowing how to talk and speak. That's just a big deal overall, in general, no matter what path you go on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
what's
you've got
the
enough.
future? Are you entrepreneur for life? Are you gonna put it on hold? Like, what's your plan?
Yeah, so my plan is, so in the next few years here, I want to expand to some few more markets. I'm eventually going to go down to Columbus, Ohio, and expand out there. I want to go ahead and kind of not, you can never really max out a market before you want to go ahead and expand to other ones. So right here, I want to go ahead and get it built up pretty well so it's automated and I could, trust all the guys and, have kind of a chain of command there where, I have operations managers and technicians and lead technicians that could go ahead and run the Cleveland location. And then I want to go ahead and expand to other markets as well. So I'm always going to be doing this and I really want to scale the hell out of it. So
What about wintertime?
yeah, so for the wintertime for this coming year, I want to go ahead and get more into Christmas lighting. It's a huge service. It really doesn't seem that profitable, but it's average ticket for a company last year that I was talking to. He did over $400,000 in sales there, and his average ticket was around 1,500, which is pretty good as opposed to power washing. So it's a good thing to do kind of during the wintertime there as well.
Yeah, got it. And I guess you'll know, and these are for companies or individual families, family homes?
Yeah, both.
Both, okay. And these will be customers that you might have over the summer that then you convert to wintertime customers as well?
Of course. And right now we're also doing a lot of commercial work as well. So we do a lot of Chick-fil-A's around the area, Chipotle's and Subways and things like that. And so we get on the schedule with those, and those contracts are real nice because it's kind of a reoccurring income that we're getting monthly as well.
You had me at Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah. Chick-fil-A's are awesome, man.
Hey, here's just a quick side idea, Nolan. When you're doing Christmas lights selling,
Yeah.
when someone says no thanks, I'm not interested, here's one thing that I have been doing lately I never thought of it before, but I sponsor my elderly parents' home Christmas lights.
Okay.
So if you come across someone, and it's just an idea that it's felt really good for me, they love it. That I pay and send over a guy for $1,500 to do their Christmas lights, and that's like a major Christmas gift and birthday gift or whatever. But if someone says no, I don't want it on my house, say, would you sponsor a widow in your neighborhood, or would you sponsor your parents' home? We have a program where you can sponsor, someone who wouldn't do it otherwise and bring a light to their Christmas season.
Right. That's a genius idea, Matt. I got to write that one down.
Okay.
Next level,
Gosh.
write it down.
Wow, that's also one of the skills that everybody's going to learn here. I want to eventually take the technicians and get them into salesmen there. And I also, we have a few CSRs here and some answering services. But I want to go ahead and get technician sales in because we're starting to transfer over to performance pay as well. We're one of the only companies in the area who are going to implement that as a power washing company, of course. And the reason I say that is because on base hourly, a lot of bigger companies around here, all their guys on base hourly aren't really motivated to do the work as best as possible. And a lot of times I actually get hired by clients who have already used those bigger companies and didn't like them because of, they were flicking cigarette butts out and blasting music. And that's just not what we do here at Northlake. And so it's a whole different story. I'll go ahead and pay the guys based on their performance with still a base hourly there, but they just motivated to do the best work they possibly can to get paid more as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool, Nolan. Well, we have our next guest coming in.
All right.
Just wanted to congratulate you, Nolan, on doing great work. You've got the vision. And we're interviewing all 10 finalists. Congratulations. And then we'll pick our top 3 and announce those in mid-May. So look for that
Awesome.
in the next few weeks. So, but keep up the great work. We appreciate all you do.
I'll be
Great
looking
to see
forward
you.
to it. Thank you guys so much.
Take care, man.
See
Good to see you.
Nolan.
Take care. You as well.
Hi, Gelsey. Welcome to the program. How are you? All right, Lutreo. I'm Matt. That's Matt. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I live in Colorado and I really enjoy making things. And so I really enjoy making things. So I have been making stuff. And I just had my parents run a outdoor survival school for kids. And yeah, so I do that a lot. And yeah.
So tell us about your business. What have you been working on?
I've been making some swords and I've been working with some not very good materials at the moment. It's been pretty easy so far. And yeah,
What have you learned? Have you sold some swords?
Yes, I've sold one sword. I haven't had many opportunities to sell them. So I sold one and to this lady who was wanting a sword for somebody she didn't know who, just anybody she found. And then I also traded a couple for a haircut.
The barter.
So did I. So did I. Be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sold it to a lady who wanted a sword for someone. Who
Yeah.
else would you imagine might be interested in buying a sword from you?
Little kids who want swords and people shopping for little kids.
Ah, gotcha.
Aunts and uncles, grandmothers and grandfathers,
Mhm.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
have you set up a catalog of swords they can buy from you, or is it just upon request?
Upon request, yeah. I want to sell at some fairs and mostly holiday fairs. I was thinking about doing some online, like on Etsy and stuff. Yeah.
What has stopped you from trying to put one on Etsy and sell it?
I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I don't have quite enough inventory yet to do that. And mostly right now I've been doing personal stuff.
Good.
Gotcha. What do you think that you might try to grow that part of it at some point, or you just have other things going on?
I think I will do some stuff like that. I mostly would like to do it at like fairs and, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And are there fairs I don't know where in Colorado you are, but are there fairs that you can imagine being involved with?
Yes, I would like to go to the Denver Waldorf School Fair, and there's this Tara Fair by us, which could work too, that I could sell at.
Nice.
How much do you sell a sword for?
At the moment, between 10 and 25, but I'm hoping to be able to make them nice enough that I can sell for more.
Do you have a sample sword anywhere near you right now?
Yeah, I have this one that is mine at the moment. I would like to make them like this. I have one that I'm selling. I can go get it if you want to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see it.
I'd like to see that one closer up too when he comes back.
This one.
Uh-huh. Show me the hilt. So it's all wood?
Yes.
What's around the handle there?
I'm not sure. I think it's hemp.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's a string around there. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You said you wanted to see this one better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How'd you make it?
Nice.
I used mostly a draw knife and a rasp. I took a nice piece, I cut out a section, and I did some sanding, and I glued this part on.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah,
That's nice looking.
yeah. It's one of
So-
my best that I've made.
You're not selling that.
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, you're not selling that one?
That's his. So, do you have any thoughts about like who a specific customer, like an individual, might be for a sword in your future?
Like somebody that I know?
Maybe, yeah, yeah, or someone you've seen walking down the street. I mean, anybody that you're like, that person should have one of my swords.
I think some like older woman that really like enjoys hanging out with little kids and could be like, "Oh, here's a sword for you that I bought, made by a kid." Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Or
Well,
maybe a mom with her younger kid and who thinks that they're really cool and would like to get one.
Yeah, birthday present maybe.
so how do you get in front of them? How do you let them know of your sword availability?
I would tell them if you are interested, I have a few swords that you could buy if you wanted to. And I'd tell them about it, and I'd tell them that, can't leave it out in the rain, and it's handmade, and I did it myself. And
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, we are really big fans of entrepreneurship and young people in particular who are taking leadership and earning money doing so. And so really love what you're doing. Really personally I mean, it sounds like your dad is right there. So I would love to hear more at some point, maybe not today, but about his own interest in your growing that type of work. Yeah, how old are you?
10.
10, yeah. So obviously he's supportive of some of your activities. So that's there he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just jump in quick for
Yeah.
a little context because Lutreo's homeschooled.
Yeah.
So he didn't mention that. So a lot of his, the entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, my wife and I, we run a business, we run a nonprofit organization, we also have a homestead. But Lutreo really has initiated a lot of the entrepreneurial activities on his own, but we use that a lot for his education. So most of his math and just interacting with the world has come through, his businesses he runs. This is actually his newest business. You could maybe even tell him about your other business that you've had for a few years. But yeah, that just for the context of that, he really uses this day to day as a major part of his educational practice.
And we
Nice.
love that. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Congratulations, Dad, for being that type of a parent. So I applaud.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summarize, Lutreo, your other business.
Okay, so I run an egg business. I sell chicken eggs to mostly people at jujitsu. It's a combat sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, my coach, he eats 6 eggs a day, and he's been one of my main customers. And this guy one day just shows up on the farm and says that he has some chickens that he wants to give us. And so I took them. I have a new flock now. I just ordered some more chicks, and I've been working on that.
Love it. Keep it up.
Definitely. I love that more than the sword, actually.
Yeah, well, Lutreo, just so you know, I just looked you up. Looks like you are in My Tech High, Colorado. which is the company I run. So I'm happy that you're part of My Tech High there in Colorado. You've had a good year so far?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I went on vacation. That's where I sold the first sword.
Good.
And yeah, I've been doing a lot of my parents' program.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate it, and we will be in touch. We're gonna select our top 3 finalists in a few weeks. So either way, keep up the great work, and we'll be in touch.
Okay,
Great
bye.
to meet you, Luterio. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Introduce yourselves to us.
Thank you. My name's Anaya. And I'm Shyla, and we're really honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Great to
Honored to
have you. We're so impressed with what you're doing and all the great things you're thinking about with entrepreneurship and education. So recap, tell us about who you are and what you do and what you've been learning.
Thank you. Well, we're two sisters and we run this business. And we run a handmade gifting business where we donate half of our profits to charity. Over the past around 6 years now, we've donated over $10,000 to various different charities, and we're looking forward to just expanding the social impact that we can have. Yeah. And we have like a really interesting story on how we got started if you want to hear it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we both love animals a lot, and there was some horrible wildfires in California like 6 years ago, and it burnt down a safari, and we were really sad to hear about it, and we wanted to help raise money, but we didn't really have a lot of money. And our parents were like, "We'll match your donation, but you got to come up with something." And we were like, "Okay, $20 isn't enough." So our parents were like, "How are you gonna raise money?" And it was October, so we thought, holiday season is coming up. Let's make greeting cards because we love to do arts and crafts. So we made greeting cards, we sold them to our neighbors, and we raised around $400 to donate.
Wow.
I'm just making notes there. That's super impressive.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and
What feedback did you get from your customers?
well, that we kind of just learned that we could do something and that we could help out. So we turned it into like a more of a business thing where we actually did go out and do events. And the feedback we received was like, very encouraging from the start, but we obviously did get feedback on how to tweak our products and how we can make them, more suitable for different kinds of markets. Because like we sold in a luxury gift shop, and the owner of the gift shop told us to, completely redesign all the packaging to fit the market just because that's who she was selling to. So yeah.
And did you?
Yeah, we did. We learned a lot. Yeah.
Well, I'm just curious as to where you guys go from here. What are your plans?
So far we've been selling at a lot of markets like art and wine fairs, and we've been selling art of other people, like other people in our community, but we hope to grow it more. Like we really want to make it global. There's like a lot of handicrafts people who make like crafts in other countries like India and Africa, and their art is really, it's you want to?
Yeah, and so they have like really pretty art, and they just don't have like an audience, and they can't sell it. And the main goal of our business is to just like increase the social impact that we have, and by having these people like sell their products, we can help them as well, which is something that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, and we want to like outsource the manufacturing of our own products to like some of these same people, just so we can make sure that like they're getting like fair pay. And we'd also like to bring our products to like retail and like corporate stores and get into corporate gifting as well.
Do you have any samples handy you could show us?
Unfortunately not. I could
Sold
probably
them all.
some pictures, but yeah, we sell out at holiday season in like December, and we're like making stuff every single weekend. Yeah, one of the biggest things we learned actually was like how to hustle, because the gift shop owner would tell us, like, I remember there's one night she texted us and she's like, "I need 60 bath bombs by tomorrow morning." And we were like, "What?" And it was,
there was also those times where we were at like art and wine events, and we'd like run out of a product after one night, and we'd be like, "Oh, well, it was a really good seller, so we need it for tomorrow." And we'd go home and we'd make it, and we'd just take it the next morning.
Yeah.
Super impressive.
Yeah. And when you made those 60, did you increase the price?
So the thing, we kind of had like a preset price for everything because it was a consignment arrangement. So Yeah, but we did learn that we could sell our products for a lot more than we originally thought, just because people were willing to pay more. And originally we're like, oh, we're just kids, we're making stuff. Then people were willing to pay. So we're like, okay, you know what? Let's drive the price up a little, you know?
Yeah, and also like even if we didn't like make the price higher for the bath bombs, like we still learned that, you know, we can make 60 bath bombs and the next day and like we can do it and we can, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. We learned,
Huge.
yeah, we learned some.
What's your next few, like, how old are you both?
I'm 16.
I'm 12.
Oh, wow. And you live in California?
Yeah.
So what's your next few years look like? What do you want to do?
Well, we're both homeschooled, so we have kind of like a lot of free time to, you know, mess around, do things. I'm in community college right now, just doing some credits, but we hope to continue to grow this business and maybe start other businesses, who knows? And a big part of what we wanted to do, not just for the entrepreneurship aspect of it, but we also want to help others start their own business. So we've been going back to these children's business fairs that we started at and talking to young entrepreneurs and giving presentations and feedback to them on how they can grow. So that's something we hope to do alongside our entrepreneurship.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. No, Matt and I are both involved heavily in homeschool communities and with our children. And
That's
how did
all.
you find out about YEA?
Um, I actually don't really remember. I think my mom sent me the link and she's like, this looks like a cool
Nice.
thing. We both are young entrepreneurs and you've learned a lot about entrepreneurship. And this seems like a great place to, you know, sort of just talk to people and
Yeah.
maybe get some.
Have you always been in California?
No,
Yeah.
we used to live in New Jersey. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, we've got another finalist in the waiting room, so we'll let you two go. But congratulations on being a finalist. We're choosing the top 3 over the next few weeks, and so this has been very helpful to get to know you and just to celebrate a little bit with you that you're awesome young entrepreneurs and leaders. Just keep up the great work.
Thank
Very
you so
good.
much. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you guys.
Have
Good
a great
luck.
day.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the program. We're so happy to have you. I'm Matt. That's Matt. We're excited to meet with you today. So tell us about yourself, how old you are, where you live, what's your business like, and what you've been learning.
All right. So my name is Micah Smets, and I'm 14, just turned 14 in January. I live in Lander, Wyoming, pretty a rural town. And so my business is called Paws and Claws Ranch Retreat, and it's a boarding, like not really boarding facility, but it's where people can bring their dogs to just stay for a little while. And let's see.
Tell us how your business started, what your founding story.
All right. So I have always really been in love with dogs and animals of all sorts. And I have volunteered since like I was 5 years old with the local animal shelter. And they just really got me hooked on to training and helping dogs that, need our help. And I live right by an Indian reservation, and we are currently having a pretty big wild dog problem. And so that's where most of the animals come from that come to the Pet Connection. They come from out there, and I just really wanted to help. So I started just training dogs. That's kind of how it started. And then I had a friend ask me to watch their dog while they went on vacation. And I was like, I could do this for money, and this is really fun. It's something that I love to do.
Yeah. Yeah. How many clients do you have?
So I currently have 12 regulars, which is always growing. And then just a few other families that drop in, almost once a month or once, every time they need to go on vacation or have to leave town for a little while. And I'm hoping to grow my business up so I have a few more clients, which this is what the grant would go to.
How much revenue are you making in a month typically?
Typically, around $500 currently. I charge $20 a day, and then extra if they want basic obedience training. And the obedience is just kind of like a side gig. And the main focus of my whole business is keeping the dog safe. That's the whole, purpose. And then training and grooming is just on the side. But I'd really love to add a branch of grooming. So if I could get that equipment, that would really help.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then how do you go and get, I guess you're 14, so they bring the dogs to you. Obviously, you're not driving around to get them, right?
Right. Yep. So they do, but I am currently hopefully this week I'm gonna try for my learner's permit, which I can get when I'm 14. So then I'll be able to go and pick them up if needed.
Wow.
But currently, yes, they are bringing them to me.
Yeah. And then other services. So you mentioned grooming. So is that like bathing? Is that what you mean by grooming?
Right, yep. So because I live on a ranch and there's tons of animals and poop everywhere, they get very grimy by the end of their visit. And I would just really like to offer a way that I can keep them, have them clean when they're returned to their owners. And that's just the bathing part, but I'd also like to offer basic grooming, which is just, clipping and shaving for the summer. And yeah.
Sounds like, and there's a lot of families that have dogs that they'd be willing to hire you to do that, I'm guessing, huh?
Yes, yep. Our community is pretty small, but since we have a big variety of dogs, so my business is mostly for adopted like dogs from the shelter, and because those are really not purebred, they're all different mixes. So there's a lot of long-haired dogs and just dogs that should be regularly groomed.
Sure, got it. And then what's the competition like for that type of service?
So there's really only one place in my town that offers boarding, and that is just like a chain business almost, where it has it. So it's just like a boarding facility, and they do offer grooming. And I did go over there to compare prices, and that's kind of how I got my pricing range. But the other thing was that they are all concrete, like they've got concrete floors and chain link fences. And what I offer is quite unique because it's out on a farm, green grass. They get to run around the place. We've got 30 acres. And so yeah, it's a bit different. So that's kind of how I arranged my pricing.
Very smart, very smart. Excellent.
I was just looking up a student that was in our program many years ago, raised litters of like mountain poodle dogs, and did really well with find a niche around poodles or dogs that people really want. And then she'd get a litter of them and raise them in her area on her farm, and she would sell each one of them for like $3,500. So that might, just an idea to think about since you're so passionate about it. Have you ever thought about that, of raising a litter and training them up and selling them to people who want them?
A little, yep, there have been times. I don't really support breeding, but I think that if since we're constantly getting in litters of puppies in the shelter, I think if I could train those up and sell them, or like adopt like a whole litter and then train them up and sell them, I think that could be a really good idea.
Yeah. No, very interesting, and they need help, right? Those dogs in the litter in the center. So that's a great path. Yeah.
Okay. And so again, what you're hoping for is a little money to pay for grooming equipment. Other things?
Yes, not only grooming, but that is the main focus for this, is just to add the branch of grooming. But the other thing was hopefully I would invest in like a different way to keep the dogs. So if I could make a dog run on the side of our property that didn't necessarily like have concrete floors, but it was just another safe place I could keep maybe troubled dogs, because I get all different personalities and sizes and breeds, and they're all just very different. And so if they needed, you know, different places to live, then I could offer that.
Right, right.
Super cool. We
Now
have
we,
another in our waiting room, Micah, so we'll let you go. We want to congratulate you for such a great job that you've done. Just super
doing it,
impressive.
doing it.
You're both doing a good business and you're doing good in the world, which is always very satisfying. So,
Huge, huge.
real quick, what do you do for schooling? What's your education model?
So I am currently homeschooled. Since COVID, I was in the public school before, but I am now homeschooled, and I'm thinking about staying homeschooled, but I'd really like to travel the world. And even in high school, I'd like to go to Australia for a few years.
Awesome.
That's where I was born. And I think homeschooling really gave me a lot more like open time and opportunities to just, you know, grow my business as it is. And I had just so much fun with homeschooling, and I think it was a really great experience.
Fantastic.
So happy for you.
Great to hear.
Well, keep up the great work and we'll be in touch.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Good luck.
All right. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
Good, it's going good.
Good. We're excited. Welcome to the program. And first, congratulations on becoming a finalist. Your
Thank
video was awesome. Your energy, your words, your content, super impressive. So this is just a quick opportunity to connect face to face. I'm Matt. That's Matt. Tell us about yourselves.
Yeah, so we're a sibling duo. Right now I am a junior. Emmy is a freshman, and we're really passionate social entrepreneurs. We've really loved starting Play for the Future and just seeing the impact that we've had. And then it just really stems from both of us, our love of sports. We both play on our high school lacrosse teams. Ever since we were little, we've been playing sports. And then really the aspect of service and volunteering. And that's just really been one of our foundational values, like in our family. We've been serving since we were young, and we've kind of transitioned into making Play for the Future.
Nice.
Tell us about some of the things you've learned from this journey.
I mean, first off, it's just like being flexible. When we were running these sports equipment drives, it was like, not everything went according as planned. Do you want to talk a little about like the Bowman Loyola drive?
Yeah, we did a drive, and at first we got no donations like the first week, and we had to learn how to pivot, how to adapt. Just these drives have really taught us to be adaptable and flexible. They've also taught us to lead. I think we've had to do a lot of communication, a lot of just learning how to manage people and excite others about our cause.
So how do you tell me, you may have said this, how do you earn money, not raise money? Do you see the difference? Earn money is you're doing something and someone pays you. Raising money is you're asking for donations. Do you see a difference in that type of offering that you give, or is it one side or the other?
So it's sort of so it's like instead of like profit, how we measure our success and impact is right. It's in the amount of balls and sports gears that we collect. So that's how we kind of measure profit and impact. And then, I mean, for funding our operations, it's very minimal costs. We just have to pay for our website and then just the materials to make posters, graphic design, that type of stuff.
So your revenue is kind of the donations that come in,
right?
And how do you value that?
So we value it. So we either get new equipment. So new equipment will give it the full price, and then used equipment that's still in good condition, we usually divide the price by half, and then we add everything.
Got it. Make an estimate of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have any alliances here that do you get the product from individuals or companies or sports
So
programs?
it's really just it's really just us going out with this idea, and we go to our schools, our local elementary schools, our church. I did a drive in my service league. We did a drive with AYSO soccer in our area. So it's really just going out, establishing these connections. Some of them we've already had these connections because we've just been active in our community before. I'm approaching them with approaching organizations with this idea, and then we run a drive together and we try to collect as much as possible.
Nice, nice. What happens after I don't know what your plans are, but what happens after whatever you do next? Go to
Yeah,
school.
so it's like once we have the equipment, our goal and mission is really to just enable kids who aren't who have issues like obtaining equipment, right? Because equipment is the cost of it is rising. And we partner, and then once we get the equipment, we distribute it to local nonprofits that work directly with kids in needs. So this can be Hope Horizon in East Palo Alto, the Economical Hunger Program, a Boys and Girls Club. And then typically we run sports shed or distribution events. So if they have an event, we'll bring all the stuff we've collected and just really hand it out. And kids will come up and they'll ask us, they'll kind of be like, oh, they'll have like, I want a soccer ball, I want a football. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, but I'm more curious. You said you're a junior, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you plan on doing this in 2, 3, 5 years?
Yeah, so we really want in the future to really be able to grow and expand our team. Emmy is a freshman,
Yeah.
so she still has some years left in high school. But I think if we're able to get other kids in their high schools to run drives for Play for the Future and kind of share this mission and passion, run it at their high school, at their service club, and really be able to expand, we can really just amplify the impact that we can have.
And we're really committed to Play for the Future. We hope to continue this and grow it so we can reach as many people and help as many kids as we can.
Yeah.
Super cool. Well,
Yeah.
we have another finalist in the waiting room. So as we bring him in, just wanted to congratulate you both on having a vision of impact in the world, and that's just exciting. So
Great idea too. Great idea.
So there's our next finalist, but we'll be in touch over the next few weeks where we'll choose our top 3. And either way, just know that you've done a great job and keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the program. Tell us about yourself. I'm Matt. This is Matt. Tell
Hey.
us your name and age and where you live and what you do.
Luke. My name is Luke, and I am 10 years old, and I live outside of Denver, Colorado, and I have a business that I do, like pulling up trash cans up and down people's hills
Right.
for them.
Yeah, how'd you get into that? How'd you start your business?
It all started, I was making clay, and I always wanted to start a business, and I saw my dad, and I was like, I want to do this. And then I asked him, like, can we start a business? And then it all started off in this hot chocolate stand in Canada. And well, yeah, it was a small little thing, and now it's grew.
Huh.
So tell us how the hot chocolate stand in Canada relates to the trash can business in Colorado.
Well, this was kind of like the beginning of my business, and then we just went through, and this was like just the start, and then it just formed into something different later on. Yeah.
Nice. How many customers do you serve?
11.
And you mentioned that this was something you were interested in for a while.
Yeah.
Why?
I had this like feeling inside me, and I wanted to do it. I had an interest in starting a business, and it felt important, and I wanted to do it.
What else are you thinking about? Any expansion to your business you're thinking about?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am looking forward to getting some more customers, and yeah, I am really excited for that.
What's your approach? What do you say to them when you want them to become a customer?
I kind of like I always like plan out and say like, what should I say? This is what should I say? What is a good thing to say? Like, I need to say something good that is they'll like, and s- a lot. Yeah.
How do you find the customers?
Well, I it's just like in my neighborhood kinda, and then I go like, so maybe a couple months ago, a couple months ago I went door to door and got like 3 customers, and that was pretty big. That was like the most customers I got in a while, and I was really glad to get customers. So yeah,
So
it's
you knocked on doors.
yeah, I do.
That's
I go to door. I did my own flyers and designed my own stickers, and yeah.
very
So how much
nice.
do you charge per month to the customer?
So basically like per week, uh it's like $2.50, and that's like a good deal. It all adds up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So $2.50 a week for you to pull in their trash cans after the garbage truck leaves.
Yes, yeah. It's but also I wanted to do this business because it helps old people, because some of our driveways are like almost a football field long, and in the winter when it's super deep, um they can't do that, and that's really dangerous, and you could get a heart attack, and my old neighbor just got cancer, so she can't do.
Sorry
No,
to hear
you're
that.
doing great. You're doing a great service. Have you thought about
Yeah.
expanding and asking them what other services they need around their house?
Yes, I do. I do yard work for them. This may sound funny. I actually my one of my customers has a dog, and so every once in a while he asks me to pick up. And
Sure. No. Yeah.
and so it's a bunch of like jobs, like
Yeah,
once in a while it comes around like a job, like yeah. Like, and then pet sitting and stuff. Yeah.
right.
Mhm. Yeah. No, those are all very good services. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I don't think that sounds funny at all. It's a need, and you're serving somebody, and they're compensating you, and that's what business is. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, Luke, you're really just demonstrating again the principle of see a need and fill a need,
Yep. Yep.
which
Yeah.
is a great entrepreneurial approach. So, what have you learned about yourself being an entrepreneur?
Um, I just, I've learned a lot about myself, and I just discovered I am a smart and I can be capable of this kind of stuff. And I, I realized that like this is what I was like made to do.
Hmm.
Well, we agree, Luke. You've just done a great job of just getting out there and doing stuff to both help the world, help your neighbors, make a little money at the same time. What do you like to spend your money on?
I don't know. I like to save it.
Good.
I
That's a good thing.
Good man.
Are you saving up for any particular thing?
no, I like saving, Sometimes maybe I invest in stocks. I don't know.
Right.
Impressive. Impressive.
That's a good plan.
Okay. I'm curious as to a year from now,
Hmm.
what if things go really well, what types of businesses might you be operating in addition to the ones you're working on, or new ones? What do you think?
Maybe like maybe every time it snows, maybe shoveling driveways, maybe walking dogs. I don't know. Maybe raking leaves. It's
The
I
need.
can't
Really
tell
need.
the future. I can't tell the future, and I am glad to do that because it gives me the excitement to wait and see what jobs there is to conquer.
Yeah. What
Keeps
needs
things
emerge.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Love that. Love that a lot. And Matt, are you going to ask about his educational
Yeah, what's your schooling journey right now?
So I'm homeschooled, and so my family is all in this business, and so I can spend a lot more time than kids at school do, and I put a lot of time and effort in this business, and it's paying off.
Well, good.
That's tell your parents I'm proud of them. Proud of you too, but I'm really proud of parents who embrace a different way of learning and one that it's much more aligned with, in my view, with real life. So congratulations to them and you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And have you been doing it through the My Tech High program in Colorado?
I haven't. We are kind of just like we have like our own. I'm like tutored and stuff, but I definitely have a lot of free time to do this.
Good, good. Well, Luke, it's a pleasure to meet you, and we're just congratulations on being one of our top 10 finalists, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much for picking me. I was so happy.
Oh, good. Thanks, Luke. Have a good one.
Hey, thank you for the work you're doing. I'm very impressed, and I look forward to hearing about where you will be in a year or two or more. So keep up the good work.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Well, congratulations on being a finalist.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited to chat with you. So tell me about yourself and about your business.
Well, I've been sewing for about 8.5 years. And I love sewing, singing, dancing. And about my business, well, I make doll dresses that I donate to kids with childhood cancer.
Right. That's super cool, Emily. How old are you?
14.
Okay. And where do you live?
Spanish Fork.
Okay. Well, what got you into this? What was your founder story?
Well, I started taking sewing lessons when I moved here to Utah. I used to live in Texas, and after a few years, I just started kind of experimenting with sewing, and I started making doll dresses, and I really enjoyed it. And so after a while, I was kind of just like, I want to use my love of making doll dresses to help kids who are going through a really hard time.
Well, that's great. So how long have you been doing that?
Doll dresses?
Yeah.
Uh, I want to say 5 years, maybe.
Wow. Super neat. And tell me about the experience, the emotion you get when you drop off dresses at the hospital.
Um, well, I don't know. It makes me really happy to see how happy kids are when they get stuff like this and they're able to use that when they're going through their treatments and stuff.
Right. What a neat experience I'm sure you have with them, huh? Has anyone contacted you after or later, or is it just a one-time chat with them?
They have, yeah.
Tell
They've
me what's happened there. What have they done? Or
sent pictures of like them with the doll or just said thank you.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, who else, do you work with anyone else, or are you just a solo entrepreneur?
Right now it's just me.
Okay, good. What are your plans for the next few years with this organization?
Well, I'm hoping that, I can kind of, as I do this, I can, as I get donations or sponsorships, I can grow my business, maybe get
other people involved and, you know, just help more people.
What would that look like? What would you envision a few other people being on your team doing, and what would they do?
Well, I have some sewing friends, and we all just love to sew. And so I kind of envisioned like we could all just like get together, I don't know, once a month or something, kind of bring together doll dresses we've made, and then we can like send them off to the kids.
Right? Oh, so cool. Uh, on that note, let me ask you this: what have you learned that other roles are needed when you try to start a business? Besides just sewing, what other roles do you envision if you had a larger organization? What other things would be needed for people to do?
Well, I want to send it to more people, so it'd be easier if I had other people helping me to send them. And also I could get other people to even just let me know about kids who want the doll dresses or um yeah.
And do you have a website, for example, or anything like that yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. So mainly just showing that there's so many parts of a business, like a web designer, someone to manage your website, someone to fulfill your shipping, someone to calculate all the expenses of all that, someone to outreach to hospitals or to care centers, right? While
Mm-hmm.
you and your sewing friends build the product,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's just interesting how there's so many parts to organizations that sometimes we don't think about.
Yeah.
So tell me what you've learned about yourself or about business or anything else during this journey.
Um, I've learned that I'm a lot more driven to do it, to do it if I'm into it more, like if I'm passionate about it. For example, my charity actually started off, I actually started making bunnies, little bunnies to send to the hospital. This is actually the last one I
Oh,
have.
wow. Cool.
Yeah, so but, you know, with stuffed animals and stuff like that, it was hard for the hospitals to accept that. Like it was hard for me to send it to the kids because of germs and stuff like that. They were very cautious. So I just learned that you have to be okay to change things to make it work better.
That's a great learning, isn't it, Emily? Do you have a sample of your doll dresses handy to show me?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, let's see them.
So I have this one.
Oh, wow. And you
And
sewed that yourself?
yeah, I did.
That's super pretty.
Oh, thank you. It's got a few here.
Oh, wow. So cool. And so the kids you give them to already have dolls? Or
Um,
tell me about that process.
so sometimes they don't, and um, most of the time the parent will just like buy a doll from DI or something. But that's also something I hope to be able to do in the future is provide dolls
Right.
with the dresses so that the parents don't have to worry about that.
Oh, that's a great vision. So, what's your schooling journey right now? What do you do for schooling?
Well, I'm homeschooled,
Okay, cool.
so I kind of just do all my school at home.
Yeah.
In the past, I've like participated in like homeschool group things, and I've done a few things like with public school, but mostly just at home.
And how do you like it?
I like it. I think it gives me a lot more time to be able to sew because you don't have to like you can cut out all the driving time and just be able to
Right.
go upstairs and start sewing. So,
Right. Well, that's super neat. Well, that great to hear your story, Emily. I was so proud of you, what you've done, and the goodness you're doing in the world. Just want to tell you to keep it up. Uh, Congratulations on being a top 10 finalist from around the world. Students submitted things, so I hope you feel good about that. We're now narrowing it down to the top 3, which will then invite to a similar Zoom session in May. But either way, just know that you've done a great job and keep up the good work, and super proud of you.
Oh, thank you.